Hello everyone, thank you for joining. We will just leave it a couple more minutes whilst I can still see a few people coming online, so we'll hold off starting just a few more moments. Right, let's kick off. Hello and welcome to the MBZIRC information series. This is our second session, and we will be holding a number of others moving forward. So if you have other questions that do come up, please do keep an eye out for our emails for when they are going to be held. But thank you for joining today. Just to give you a quick rundown of how the session is going to work, my colleague and program manager for the challenge, Vina Hausen, is going to quickly run you through a presentation just to give you a little bit of background on the challenge, how it's going to work and what's expected. And then there will be a Q&A for you to ask questions, which Vina will answer. So please use the chat function or the Q&A function, and we will do our best to get to them all. So without further ado, Vina, over to you.
Thank you very much, Tom. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone attending this webinar from around the globe. I'm Vina Hausen, the Program Manager of MBZIRC Maritime Grand Challenge. I'm a part of Aspire that is driving the creation of transformative technologies. I apologize for my voice. I've been under the weather lately, so I just have a gum in my mouth to avoid coughing, so I apologize. This is our second webinar, and the agenda is pretty much similar to the first one. We're first going to have an introduction to Aspire and the MBZIRC Maritime Grand Challenge. We will then talk about discussion forum to facilitate teaming activities. After that, we are going to take questions from the teams. And lastly, we encourage all the participants to go through the FAQs that we have already put on our website. Before we look at what the MBZIRC has in store between now and 2023, I want to talk about Aspire. Aspire is an organization that exists to bridge the gap between the lab and the real world. Based in Abu Dhabi, we are the technology program management arm of the Advanced Technology Research Council. A part of ATRC, we are a sister organization of Technology Innovation Institute, TII in short, which is ATRC's applied research arm. Our role is to drive the creation of transformative technologies. Fundamentally, we focus on commissioning research that leads to pioneering advances, helping deliver new technologies with practical applications. We do this in a number of ways, from directing strategy to funding research, selecting partners, managing the development of research, and shaping the problem statements and international grant challenges to really drive the next great leap in tech evolution. At Aspire, we are here for the real world. We don't do research for the sake of research. We frame our research statements with clear benefits and practical commercial applications in mind. We work in close consultation with researchers, innovators, and cross-sector industry stakeholders from all levels of the local and international R&D ecosystem. We ensure that our research projects have a clear path to successful application. So it's a natural and logical part of our mission to sponsor and organize grant challenges at the highest level, which can translate quickly into IP and commercial success. As part of Aspire's mission to solve tomorrow's issues, our high-profile competitions and grant challenges reach out to engage innovators and talented research teams from around the globe. To us, they offer a unique way to approach problem solving and maybe even to reach innovators we've never heard of until now. We're challenging them and you to develop groundbreaking solutions to some of the world's most pressing problems. X Prize Beat the Next Billion is the very first grand challenge sponsored by Aspire. Here's the background. By 2050, Earth's population will be 9.7 billion. Demand for high protein products is increasing. Impact of meat production is devastating the planet. We all know about it. And this challenge seeks to address these conflicting trends. The competition was launched in December 2020, and it will run for 4 years. It carries a total prize purse of $15 million. This competition incentivizes innovation in chicken breast and fish fillet alternatives. The goal is to replicate or outperform conventional chicken breast and fish fillet in access, environmental sustainability, animal welfare, nutrition and health, taste and texture. The rolling registration is still open till 1st of December. So if you know somebody who would like to take part in this competition, please spread the word. Let's start by looking at the bigger picture. Robots are everywhere, and autonomous systems are playing an incredibly important role across a huge range of sectors and applications. Meanwhile, they're getting more cost-effective as they become more powerful. So far, so good. But there's a tangible gap between what they can achieve here and now and the kind of capabilities we need as a society. Through the MBZIRC Maritime Grand Challenge, we at Aspire are looking to bridge this gap. As part of our wider remit, we're seeking to push technological boundaries, enabling robots to work more autonomously in dynamic, unstructured environments while interacting and collaborating with us and with one another. Now, your favorite part, the MBZIRC Maritime Grand Challenge. And for those of you who don't know much about us, we'll start with a bit of background. The Mohammed bin Zayed International Robotics Challenge aims to become one of the world's largest and most prestigious international robotics competitions. Established in 2017, it's held every 2 years in Abu Dhabi as a real-world challenge for universities, research centers, companies, and individual innovators from all across the world. The aim of the challenge is to inspire the development of solutions in autonomous robotics. Our previous challenges have attracted teams from across Asia, Europe, North America, and the Middle East. Today, it's at the very forefront of exploration and experimentation, as we set out to find novel technologies, successes that are resilient in a dynamic and unpredictable market.
From the Mohammed bin Zayed International Robotics Challenge, a new global grand challenge for 2023, as teams of pioneering innovators from around the world converge on the coast of Abu Dhabi, UAE, to take part in an ambitious robotics competition and compete for a prize purse of over $3 million US. Welcome to the MBZIRC Maritime Grand Challenge. The MBZIRC Maritime Grand Challenge is a unique, real-world challenge intended to inspire the creation of groundbreaking solutions in autonomous robotics, focused on applications of heterogeneous swarms in the air and out at sea, stimulating ideas, encouraging collaboration, and pushing boundaries. This edition of MBZIRC is a system of systems challenge, bringing together diverse teams with skills in robotics, navigation, communications, and autonomous technologies to unleash their creativity together. In 2023, the Maritime Grand Challenge will focus on deploying autonomous robotic technologies to address the global problems of illegal fishing, piracy, smuggling, and coastline security. This highly complex, multi-layered task involves autonomous, unmanned aerial and surface vehicles working together in a GNSS-denied environment out at sea to detect an unfriendly vessel and offload goods from it in the shortest possible time. Making it happen will require a collaborative symphony of heterogeneous technologies and unmanned platforms backed by autonomous infrastructure. The MBZIRC Maritime Grand Challenge is organized over 3 distinct phases. A Whitepaper phase, open to participants from across the globe until the end of December 2021. A simulation phase for shortlisted semi-finalists. And finally, a demonstration phase for 5 finalists who compete against the clock in a real-life scenario. To succeed, you'll need to create a vibrant ecosystem of partners to propel novel solutions with deep reasoning to counter real-world problems. Now, the call for participation is open. To register your interest and battle with the leading pioneers of autonomous robotics, visit us at mbzirc.com and let the Maritime Grand Challenge begin. Visit mbzirc.com for more details.
Well, that was our promo video giving all the details of this Grand Challenge. Now, I'm delighted to set out the details of our very next Global Grand Challenge, our 3rd edition. The MBZIRC Maritime Grand Challenge is a unique real-world competition designed to inspire the creation of groundbreaking solutions in autonomous robotics in the air and out at sea, stimulating ideas, encouraging collaboration, and pushing boundaries. In 2023, the MBZIRC Maritime Grand Challenge will deploy autonomous robotic technologies to address the very real and present global problems of illegal fishing, piracy, smuggling, and coastline security. It's a highly complex, multi-layered task involving autonomous aerial and surface vehicles. They all have to work together in a GNSS-denied environment off the coast of Abu Dhabi. The goal is to identify a target vessel and offload goods from it in the shortest possible time. What makes this different from other grand challenges? Well, it is the first ever challenge to involve heterogeneous collaboration among unmanned aerial vehicles and unmanned surface vehicles. Are you and your team up for the challenge? Well, let's start by looking at the incentives, the prizes. Our total prize pot is $3.5 million and is designed not only to reward our 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place finishers, but also those who complete our simulation phase and advance to the final round. Our demonstration phase will share a fund of $500,000 to be split equally among the 5 finalists that will proceed to the demonstration phase, up to 5 finalists. Because we believe in teamwork, collaboration, and sharing the benefits of innovation, any team that accepts demonstration phase prize money will provide us, Aspire, with non-exclusive, perpetual, and royalty-free access to the IP, including the right to sublicense it to third parties. As far as other funding and sponsorship is concerned, we at Aspire will provide no sponsorship of equipment to teams except for the provision of a USV, up to $50,000 to procure a robotic arm. I will describe a little bit more on this one in the next slides. And the prize money that has been split between the 5 teams that go to the demonstration phase. Now, MBZIRC Maritime Grand Challenge teams will use a heterogeneous unmanned system comprising of 1 autonomous unmanned surface vehicle, a USV, base station. This will be provided by Aspire, a swarm of 5 to 20 unmanned aerial vehicles. These have to be provided by the participating teams themselves, and a robotic manipulation arm that will be mounted on the USV. Aspire will provide up to $50,000 towards the procurement of a robotic arm. The teams can choose a robotic arm that fits their design. UAVs may land on the USV and take off from the USV and recharge on the USV. So USV can be used as a base station for landing, taking off, and for recharging. In terms of communication, the swarm of unmanned systems must work in a GNSS denied environment, and no extra system communications are allowed. However, intra-system communication is permitted. For instance, the USV could hold a base station, such as a femtocell, such as a femtocell, to augment the UAV swarm capabilities. So there are two main tasks to be accomplished as a part of the Grand Challenge. The first task is inspection. So the USV plus UAV system together has to go out at sea and search, and search the waters for a possible target vessel. Before the start of the final demonstration, an intelligence report will be provided to all the teams containing possible identification markers of a vessel. So the swarm of UAVs will go out at sea and look for this particular vessel. And the moment they have identified a prospective target vessel, they need to activate a video stream from UAV to the command center or the operator. And this video stream should transmit a video containing a clear marking of the vessel, along with the Boolean for the operator to say yes or no. Yes to confirm that it is a target vessel, and no to decline. And if the operator says no, the team gets a time penalty and they need to continue searching again. But if the operator confirms that it is a target vessel, then the video stream continues, and the UAVs need to find prospective objects that will have to be picked out of the vessel. Yeah. So the video stream will continue, and the objects on the vessel will be marked along with the Boolean to confirm if that particular object needs to be picked up or not. So the first object to be picked up from the vessel is a small object of about 1 kilo weight. The shape of the object could be anything, but I would just like to give an example. It could be master's papers that the operator would like to take a look if the vessel's papers are in order. So the UAV needs to pick up this small object from the vessel and put it on the USV deck. And the video stream will continue, and a bigger object has to be marked clearly for the operator to confirm or to confirm for intervention task. Once the operator says, yes, this is the object that needs to be picked up, the swarm of UAVs will collaborate with each other and attach themselves to this big object and move it from one point on the vessel to a point that is closest to the USV, so that the robotic arm can reach inside the vessel, pick up this big object and put it on the USV deck. So it is obligatory for the UAVs to collaborate with each other and attach themselves to the big object and move it from one point on the vessel to another point, so that it is convenient for the USV and the robotic arm to pick it up. And it is obligatory that the robotic arm picks up this object from the vessel and puts it on the USV deck. So that is the description of the final demonstration. And the entire final demonstration is timed. So the team or the individual whose system accomplishes this entire activity in the shortest amount of time wins. Now, how are we going through this challenge? We have 3 phases. The first phase is the white paper phase. We have started accepting white papers from 1st of October, and we will accept them till December 30th, 2021. Once we receive the white papers, they will be judged by a team of experts, and up to 20 teams will be selected to proceed to the simulation phase. We are currently finalizing the details of the simulation software that we will provide to the teams. It will be open source simulation software, and the teams have to use the simulation software and provide proof of concept for the entire demonstration. Our team of experts will visit will visit all the teams that will go to simulation phase for the final judging, and up to five teams that up to 5 teams from the simulation phase will qualify to go to the final demonstration phase. And these teams that will proceed to the demonstration phase will be given a USV at this point in time, and funding towards procurement of, well, it's not funding, basically possibility of up to $50,000 towards procurement of a robotic arm. Now, so who can enter? Universities, research centers, businesses, individuals, basically anybody who has the ability to take part and win in this competition, can enter. And the most important thing is teamwork, partnership, and collaboration. Yeah, I would like to talk a little bit about the MBZIRC community. So we have already launched MBZIRC Community, and everybody who has registered, who has successfully completed the registration, would have received an invite to join the community. The community has 2 important purposes. One is teaming. So if you have a team that has only a certain set of skills and would like to complete the skill set by forming a stronger team and collaborating with somebody else, and you don't know whom to get in touch with, please use the community. Register yourself in the community and give a shout out to other teams who can complete your skills. Just be mindful not to reveal any proprietary information. And if you want to discuss any details, please take it outside the community and have a private conversation. So the community is basically to get to facilitate teams getting in touch with each other, to collaborate and to form stronger teams that can compete, that can compete successfully. And the second important aspect of the community is you have a platform to ask questions to the organizers. Of course, we also have an email, talk to us at mbzirc.com. So if you have questions, you can always send there. We have an FAQ on our website where we have answered many questions. So please do take a look at the FAQs on our website. And if these do not answer the questions to your satisfaction, reach out to us talk to us at mbzirc.com or through our community. Now, so are you and your team ready for the challenge? The search is now on to find the world's most accomplished robotics teams to go ahead in the ultimate challenge in Abu Dhabi. The MBZIRC Maritime Grand Challenge will be a competition like no other, pushing autonomy, communication, and collaboration to their limits, in the air and out at sea. Any team from anywhere is welcome to participate and compete with the world's leading innovations in autonomous robotics. Registrations are still open till 30 December 2021. Our website is www.mbzirc.com. We have a lot of information there. Please stay tuned to our website. Take a look at various pages on the website. Thank you very much. It's time for questions. Tom, do we have any questions?
Thank you, Veena. Absolutely. Thank you very much, everyone, for your questions coming in the Q&A function. We will work through them now. So hopefully be able to answer and resolve any queries. So first one is how do we define the maritime capability needs, and how do we track the maritime capability needs that are delivered by capability solutions?
I'm not able to understand the question clearly. So what I understand is, how do we qualify someone?
I think it's a judge on, and please, whoever submitted this question, please do clarify if we misunderstood. But I think this is more about at the simulation phase. How do we judge whether the proposed solutions are going to be able to deliver?
Okay, well, of course, we want to see if the participants or the team has any expertise in maritime environment, if they know, if they have worked on unmanned surface vehicles and how they will steer in the real world, where, out at sea. It's not still water, it's going to be a little bit turbulent, how they're going to maneuver, and how what kind of payloads they will mount on a USV to be able to collaborate with the UAVs to navigate in an unmanned, in a GNSS denied environment. So I hope I answered your question.
Next one, Robotics Central has just said hi. So hello to you.
Hi
too.
back. Hi back.
And another question is how will the UAVs communicate with the operator if no external communication is allowed?
Okay, this is a good one. My bad. So I should have said it clearly during my presentation. This is the only extra system communication that will be allowed. The communication from the UAV plus USV system to the operator. This is the only communication that will be allowed. Apologies.
Okay, so then another one is for the robotic arm. Is it compulsory to buy an arm, or can teams design the solution themselves? Because they've given an example of, they feel that perhaps they could build something that would be of more value to them than is currently offered on the market.
This is also an excellent question. So we will provide you $50,000 towards the arm and its mounting. So if you want to design your own arm and the mounting, go ahead, do it. If you want to buy something off the shelf, you can do it. So, excuse me. So basically, you can use this money to either design or procure or up an existing arm. You can buy an arm that's a little bit cheaper and modify it with this amount that we provide to you. So yeah, we just of course, because we are providing this funding, we would like to know what you want to do with it. So you will have to give us proper details about it.
Next one is on the simulation phase again, just on what is judged during the simulation phase. So is it just purely the simulation, or are other real working elements of the project taken into account at this phase, such as the grasping of the arm, for instance?
Well, I don't want to comment anything about the simulation phase because it's still a few months away right now, and we are currently discussing and finalizing everything that's related to simulation phase. So I would like to park this question, and we will clarify this at a later point in time. So as of now, I would just like to stick to questions that will help us in the white paper phase.
Okay, so the next one is actually in a similar vein of the kind of judgment of the task. This one's of the final task, the demonstration phase. I don't know if you want to comment on this, Vina, but it's just around how important is basically the quality of the detection from the UAVs. So is it important, depending on which 3D reference model is used, such as point cloud, mesh, color point cloud for identification, or is it just purely judged on the fact that they have correctly identified what they need to?
Well, just think of a real life scenario. If an operator is sitting in a command room and he would like to know how the vessel looks like, there has to be some sort of visual identification of the vessel. So a color visual identification is an important part of the video stream that will be sent from the UAV plus USV system to the operator. So yeah, I mean, if you send the information in binary, it's going to be very difficult for the operator to figure out if it is the actual vessel or not. So it's important that the video feed contains colored visual imagery, and the object has to be clearly identified with either a bounding box or with a particular highlight. We leave it to the creativity of team how best they can do it. And of course, we want to see some innovation in this one, or some creativity, how you're going to do it. And a Boolean that's accompanied in this video feed, basically for operator to say yes or no. I hope I answered your question.
Okay, next one. When can the competitor agreement draft be downloaded?
Sorry, I didn't get it.
When can the competitor agreement draft be downloaded?
Well,
where? Beg your pardon.
Well, we are currently drafting the competitor agreement. So this needs to be signed either sometime during simulation phase or final demonstration phase. So yeah, I would say in the next few weeks, the moment it is available, we will put it out on the website. But it's definitely not available till the end of the white paper submission phase.
Cool. So next one is the ability for nighttime, either low or nil optical visibility operation a requirement for this challenge?
So this challenge will happen during the day. It will not happen at night. So if it is part of your solution to make it work, whether it's day or night, excellent. I mean, we would love to see that, but it is not a requirement. So yeah, it is not a requirement.
Okay, the next one is, what is the interface between our payload on the USV and the controls of the USV?
Okay, as of now, I think it's going to be ROS. We're currently in the phase of finalizing it. And once we have confirmed details, we will provide it to you either during the simulation or before final demonstration.
Cool. Some good questions coming in. Keep them coming. We have 27 questions, Veena, just to let you know. So
it's okay. We have time.
Lots more to get to. Next one is, can the design detailed in the white paper be changed or tweaked later at the simulation stage?
Look, during white paper, we are asking you to provide the first concept. Of course, you can change the details. You can improve your solution during the simulation, and you can further improve it during demonstration. Yeah. So yeah. So the short answer is yes, you can improve the solution, but it cannot be completely different. Yeah. You can improve it. You can build on a particular concept that you have given. Let's say you submit a concept with only one UAV in your white paper, and in simulation phase, you're using 20 UAVs, that's a big deviation. So improvement is allowed, but then it's, it's difficult to say it very objectively. Improvement is definitely allowed, but the concept itself should stay as stable as possible.
Okay, so next one's fairly straightforward. We've been pretty clear the USV will be provided, but will the UAVs be provided?
Well, the UAVs need to be brought in by the teams themselves. teams themselves. The USV will be provided. Tom, I would like to go back to the previous question one more time. So in our login portal, there is a possibility for the teams to submit white papers and its revisions. So the last submitted white paper will be considered for judging. So let's say you have completed writing your white paper and you have submitted in our portal on 1st of December 2021. And 2 days later, you have this amazing idea that you want to work on and modify the white paper. You can do so. Change your concept, rewrite the white paper, and submit it again in our portal with the same. If you want it from the same team, submit it again, and then we will consider the latest submitted white paper from you. We can see the revision of the submissions that you have given us, and we will consider only the latest. Yeah, Tom.
Okay, next one is how will the USV system be initialized? So how do they command the USV to maneuver without GPS?
Well, that is part of the challenge, so you have to figure it out.
Next one is around what do we mean exactly when we say GNSS denied? Is that no GPS? No, yeah, what do we mean?
So GNSS is Global Navigation Satellite System. So this is going to be a little bit, so GNSS is a superset of GPS. So just Google it. I think that would be the best thing to do. Yeah, I would just ask the participants to Google GNSS.
Okay, what is the size of what is the area of coverage? So boundary to boundary, what's the size that they have to operate within?
So the total area is going to be 10 square kilometers. So the exact size or the shape of the area will not be revealed right now, but we will provide the details at the beginning of the simulation phase. So as of now, you can take 10 square kilometers and yeah, various sizes of 10 square kilometers.
Okay, great. The next one is, will we provide a template for the white paper?
Yes, we have provided a white paper submission format. And you can, yeah, so I really don't know what you mean by template. So we don't want to restrict you by providing a template as to how many pages should the team information be, or how many pages should the description be. So the white paper can be up to 15 pages. Yeah, it's absolutely okay if your white paper is less than 15 pages, as long as it contains all the information that we are looking for. How you use these 15 pages is completely up to you. So we will not be providing any template. Okay.
Next one is on the UAVs. So are there any limitations in terms of the shape and the capabilities and functionalities, excluding the obvious extra communication and GPS? But beyond those, what are the parameters that we're setting?
Well, as of now, we haven't limited any types of UAVs. So the participants are free to choose any types of UAVs. So at least for the white paper phase, yeah, you can choose any types of UAVs that you like and provide the details in the white paper.
Cool. So we've got another one on the search area, but previously answered that one. Couple more coming in. One on will USV navigate alongside the target vessel with the heavy payload, or will it be a simple base station?
How you use the USV to accomplish the demonstration task is up to you. So if you want this USV to follow a UAV, or if you want it to stay somewhere and go to the target vessel once it's identified, it's really all up to you. So it's part of your design and your strategy and your algorithm. So yeah, come up with an innovative way. It's part of what we're looking for from you.
Okay, great, thank you. We have another one about kind of querying what the actual task is and what the challenge is. Apologies, I'm not entirely sure I fully understand the question. But Veena, could you just talk a little bit about I think what the kind of objective of the final challenge is, and kind of what the what we'll be judging in that sense?
Okay. So just imagine a real life scenario where there is a Coast Guard, sitting in his base station. What happens usually is, provided there are no unmanned vehicles to help the Coast Guard, if there is a vessel approaching the coast with bad actors, this person has to go out physically at sea, and if they happen to carry any weapon, the life of this person is in danger. What we are trying to do is basically provide assistance to the coastal authorities without putting their life in danger. So the UAVs can do way more than a Coast Guard can do on his patrol boat. So they are flying up in the air and provide a bird's eye view of a possible bad actor, a vessel, a target vessel that matches the intelligence description. And once such a vessel is identified, without the Coast Guard having to come and pick up the objects, if the UAV picks up, let's say, for example, the master's papers, it could be that the UAVs could also be mounted with voice commands that the operator can talk into. This is just an example. This is not part of the challenge. That the operator can talk to, say, hey, please provide us the master's papers for us to check if the papers of the vessel are in order. The UAV can pick up these vessels and bring it to the Coast Guard, and then he can take a look and figure out whether the papers are in order. And if he suspects something and he wants to inspect the materials that are on the vessel, he doesn't have to go there physically. He can use USV with a robotic arm to pick up something from the vessel and bring it to him so that he can inspect it in the safety of his command center. So this is like a real life example. And this is what we are trying to address with this competition. Is that clear?
I think, please, whoever submitted that question, please do kind of re-ask or clarify if not. Veena, conscious of time, we have 15 minutes left and still have quite a few questions to go through. So if we can, just I will try and get through all of them. Everyone, apologies if we don't get to them, but if not, please do email us. And you can use the contact form on the website, and we can respond to you directly there. So next one is, how are we going to enforce the no GPS rule? For example, will the organisers put a GPS jammer at the test site?
Well, we are still discussing the details how we are going to enforce it, but we are going to check all the equipment that the team brings for demonstration to ensure that there are no GPS receivers mounted on them.
We've had
not just GPS receivers. We'll ensure that you are not using any of the GNSS information.
Okay, next one is just, can you explain the white paper stage a little bit more clearly?
White paper stage.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we have provided a white paper requirements format on our website. So you'll need to provide your team information, your experience, background in autonomous robotics, computer vision, navigation in a GNSS denied environment, and etc. There are various details that are required. and the concept design of how you're going to attempt and solve this challenge. The equipments that are required for the challenge are UAVs that need to be brought by the teams from between 5 and 20. USV will be provided by us, and we will provide up to $50,000 towards procurement or towards the let's just say procurement of the arm. You can design your own or even upgrade an existing arm that you have. Keeping in mind all this information, we want to see how you will solve this challenge and put it into words to communicate to us.
Cool. Next one is, can we use more than one robotic arm?
If you can use more than one robotic arm, this is an excellent question. I don't see a reason why you should not, but this is something for us to think through and get back to you. So this is a very good question. Yeah, that's a very good question. I don't see a reason why you should not use more than one robotic arm, but we will confirm this and we'll try and put this in our FAQ on the website. Tom, we should put this in our FAQ, yeah.
For sure. Okay, so yeah, no, we will update you on that one. Whoever submitted that question. Okay, a couple more coming in on the size of the area. In order to vessel detection, which will be will different vessels be identified? How will they be identified? Is it shape? Is it color? Is it both? You know, are they going to be? Can you talk a little bit about that? And you know, are there going to be two vessels, same color but different size?
Visual imagery is going to be an important part of the intelligence that will be provided. So it could be a set of images that are a bit blurred, taken from various angles. And of course, there will be additional information provided with that, but visual color imagery is an important part of the intelligence that will be provided to the teams, and they have to use it to identify the vessels, the target vessels. Will they be similar? They could be, we don't know. So you need to be able to identify the vessel, but there will be some distinguishing factor between two target vessels if they have similar color and similar characteristics. And we are looking at target vessels. Think of dhows, or think of small boats where pirates can hide, small boats with shelters built on them. So these could be the type of target vessels. We are not definitely looking at big shipping containers or big barges. So think of small vessels, let's say about, roughly around 10 meters in length, but okay, well, the final details will be provided. So as of now, I'm just giving you a rough hint.
Okay, so next one is there any target sea state or wind state for the challenge?
So this is a real life challenge. So you do have to take into account certain weather conditions. This is the desert, and the demonstration is as of now planned to be held in summer. We do have sandstorms. The sea could be a little bit rough. We are not trying to host the final challenge in very rough sea, but it is going to be at sea. So do take into account that the water will not be as calm as a lake. So there's going to be some turbulence, but it won't be like the rough sea. So
next one is there any kind of positioning anchor that the robots can detect? They're like a start point or a finish point that they have to go through as part of a challenge, as part of the challenge?
Okay, this is again a very good question. We are currently trying to finalize the following two. There is going to be a start gate for launching the UAV plus USV system. for the demonstration. And we are going to clearly mark the boundaries where the demonstration is going to take place. How we are going to mark these boundaries is still being discussed. And once this is available, once this has been finalized, we are going to inform it to everyone through our website. As of now, just imagine that there is a gate at the where the UAV and USV system will be launched, and you will search about 10 square kilometers of area and use your creativity to chart out various sizes of the 10 square kilometers. It could be 5 meters by 2 meters or 3.5 meters by 3 meters, things like this. Ideally, it should work for various shapes of 10 square kilometers.
Okay, great. Another one on the size of the target ship, just kind of querying if a robotic arm has to pick something up from the target vessel and offload it onto the USV, the target can't be too high, obviously given the size of the robotic arm. So I think you've kind of covered that one in your previous answers, just around that, it's going to be reasonable, but part of the challenge is that not too much.
Yeah, so it is a very important part of the challenge to come up with an intelligent mounting mechanism for the robotic arm so that it can reach into the target vessel and pick up the object. So we are really looking forward to some innovation in this area.
Next one, just on the white paper, clarifying, is there any limit in the number of pages that can be submitted, and can additional materials be submitted?
Well, we have provided as of now 15 pages, so you have to respect this as the maximum number of pages that we will accept. However, you do have a possibility to upload a video link. Well, then don't use the video link just to provide us more information that is supplement to your white paper. Like don't populate the video with pages of information that we have to read through. The video link is actually for demonstration or prototype demonstration of the systems that you have built. So it really has to be a video that shows the videographic information of your idea or something like that.
Great. Next one is, do the UAVs need to take off from the USV? And then after takeoff, do they have to be airborne at all times?
Well, they don't have to take off from the USV. They can. Do they have to be airborne at all times? No, it's really up to your discretion how you want the UAVs to behave. I'm giving an example. Let's say your team has 10 UAVs and the battery life is only 30 minutes, that they can be airborne only for 30 minutes. It could be that the first 5 are airborne for the first 30 minutes and the next 5 are airborne for the next 30 minutes. Yeah, and whether they come back and well, when they're not airborne, they can come back and rest on the USV. And if they have to take off from the USV, it is not a necessity. They can all take off from the start gate.
Okay, next one is just the imagery presented in the presentation alludes to an aquatic environment. Will the USV be required to traverse waters? I mean, yeah, that one is fairly straightforward. Yeah, it's a maritime challenge, so everything will be at sea. It will not be, will not be on land.
So I think there is a confusion here, Tom. So USV means unmanned surface vehicles. These travel on top of water, just like boats. So yeah, it has to be on the water.
Then the next one I think is a follow-up from a previous question. Just clarifying, the UAVs can just have a video stream. It can just be a camera. It doesn't have to be scanning from using 3D LiDAR on the drone or anything like that. It can purely be a camera.
It can be whatever you want it to be, as long as we see the visual video stream, you can use whatever you like. So you can use any sensor that you like, but eventually what we want to see is a colored video feed of the vessel.
Cool. Next one is, how are we planning on defining the area of service? We covered that one. It's going to be 10 square kilometers, and it's going to be somewhere off the coast of Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
Next one is, how many teams will be selected for the simulation phase?
Up to 20. Up to 20.
Again, just another one on will the system be required to work in adverse weather and up to a specific sea state?
We have answered that question already.
It's a real world challenge, but yeah, it won't be too strenuous off there. Then the next one is, well, what is the maximum payload mass for the bigger object to be picked up by the UAV swarm?
Up to 10 kg.
Will the USV have its own autonomy, or do teams need to develop that as well?
Well, the USV will have the provision, will provide an interface to program for autonomy. So USV will come, USV will have a computer system provided with an interface that you can program it for autonomy.
Okay, next one is, what's the local regulation on the radio frequency system, e.g. on the power and the spectrum side? So higher power can extend the UAV to fly a longer range.
We don't have this information yet. We are finding this information. We also received a question on this one before. So once we have clarity on this from the authorities, we will again put it in an FAQ on our website. So I just want to say one more thing. We are in the process of writing a rule book. The rule book is going to clearly state all the smallest details of this challenge, and the answer to this question will also form part of the rule book. So we're trying to answer this question before the white paper submission. If we are not able to provide you an answer before the white paper submission, please make an assumption, but make it in such a way that this can be altered at a later point in time once we have a clear answer from the authorities.
Okay, next one is, the objects could be of any size, or are they going to be mostly kind of rectangular or square?
Well, I don't want to reveal this information. So the objects can be rectangular or square, or they can be like a big log of wood or a box, or various sizes. So at this point, we just want to specify the weight. 1 kilo is a small object, 10 kilo is a big object. We really want to see various ideas in grasping objects of different sizes and shapes. So so I don't want to specify very clearly how the objects would look like, because in real life, you don't know how the objects would look like, correct?
For sure. Okay, conscious that we do only have 1 minute left, and there's still quite a few questions to get through. So we will try and rattle through as many as possible. Then where do the drones start from during the competition?
Well, as of now, you can just assume a start gate that will launch USV and UAVs from one starting point. But we are going to provide a starting point, which is like the start gate, along with the start of the timer. So, yeah.
Cool. The next one is just regarding the kind of extra communication with regards to receiving the video streaming. Yeah, we've covered that. That is obviously. Yes. How close is the land to the testing area?
How close is the land to the testing area?
Yes, so the competition is going to take place offshore, and it will be just off the shore of Abu Dhabi, but that is unset. Correct, Vina?
Yeah. So, well, this is a very good question. How far will the land be from the final demonstration? So we are considering that the launch point is going to be on the land, and the demonstration area will be in the water.
Cool.
So the launch point will be the land, and the entire demonstration will happen in the waters right beside the land.
Next one is around pre-installing markers such as radio beacons or lighthouses to geographically known positions inside or outside the designated space. Is that possible?
No, we are not going to provide any geographical markers for UAVs to navigate themselves. The teams have to find a way to navigate without any external help. Then that would be extra system communication. So we are not going to provide any pointers for them to orient themselves.
Okay. The next one is around the target vessel and just around how they identify it. I think we've kind of covered this one off already with in previous questions. What information will we provide about the target vessel is the next one.
What information will we provide of the target vessel? So there is going to be an intelligence report provided, which will contain at the least images of the target vessel, like blurred out images or half complete images taken from various angles. There could be additional information, but at this point in time, this is all that is available to you for the white paper phase.
Great, a couple more on object size, but we've covered those off. Where will the USV be docked before the target is detected?
Well, we are going to keep the USV on the water at the starting point, the gate where the launch gate for starting of the demonstration. So it's going to be in the water. We will ensure that it's already on the water for you.
Then can we know the technical details of the USV, such as the cruise speed and the turning radius, so they can use the information in the white paper phase?
Okay, I need to take a quick look at our equipment details that's already provided in the white paper. Just bear with me a minute. Okay, at this point, we have not provided any cruise speed or turning radius. Here is what I encourage you to do. So look for vessels that have similar details that are available off the shelf, commercially off the shelf USVs, and see what their turning radius and cruise speed is. Of course, you can make certain assumptions, qualified assumptions on your white paper, and you can quote the references for these assumptions and provide your design based on that. And if in case we do decide to provide you this additional information, we will provide it on our website. Yeah, so as of now, whatever is available in the white paper submission requirement is all the information you have. Any other information has to be a qualified educated guess or a qualified estimate, yeah, for which you will have to provide us some proof or reference.
Great. Only a couple more questions now. I appreciate that we've run over, so thank you to everyone who has stayed on. The weight of the large object to be manipulated by the arm, please, Vina.
10 kilograms. I think we've
the weight of the
10
large
times
one, rather than to be manipulated by the arm versus the difference in the weights that need to be taken by the UAVs.
Sorry, I didn't get it. So
So there's a number of objects that need to be removed from the target vessel. Some will be done by the UAVs, and one larger object will be taken by the robotic arm. What are the weights of the different two?
Okay, so there will be 2 objects that need to be picked up from the vessel and put on the USV. The first object that needs to be picked up will be a smaller object, and it will have a weight of maximum 1 kilogram. This object has to be picked up only by UAV or a team of UAVs and put on the USV. The second object will be up to 10 kilograms, and this will be a bigger object. This object has to be moved by a team of UAVs. A team of UAVs need to attach themselves to this bigger object and move it from one location on the vessel to another location that is closer to the USV. And the USV needs to come close to the target vessel, use the robotic arm, reach into the target vessel, pick up the big object and put it on the USV deck. I hope that's clear now.
Perfect. There's another one around will there be any human kind of non-cooperation during the final stage? So I think that's kind of around the fact that we're simulating a world environment. It could be piracy, it could be smuggling. So will the challenge incorporate any kind of pushback, I guess, or further intervention whilst the autonomous systems are trying to complete the challenge?
Well, I think the challenge is challenging enough, so we're not going to have any attacks on the UAVs. So if at all there will be people on the vessel, it could be our camera crew filming the challenge. So they will not be attacking the UAVs or doing adding any more layers to the challenge. So they will be just silent spectators, if at all there are people on the vessels.
There's another one around the object. Is the object going to be defined by us, or can teams provide their own object?
Well, as of now, the objects will be provided by us for the final demonstration. So we will be placing the objects on the target vessels.
Okay, when will the rulebook be released?
Very good question. We are working very hard on the rulebook. Well, we have provided information that is sufficient to provide white paper. So we want to have the rule book out before the start of the simulation phase. So.
Okay, next one is how much input can humans have with regards to, the driving and the grasping, or does it have to be 100% autonomous?
It has to be 100% autonomous.
Okay, then a couple more on the chat function. Then we have which is the simulation environment, which software is going to be used?
Okay, we are currently finalizing the details of the simulation software. Of course, it's going to be used for simulation phase, and we'll provide you the details well before the simulation phase starts, but it's going to be an open source software, and the interface that will be provided is very likely ROS.
Is it compulsory to use that simulation software, or can teams use their own?
Okay, this is a very good question again. The simulation environment we will be providing is going to be tailored for this competition, and we will provide possibilities for teams to customize their solution. So there will be APIs that will be exposed that you can use to customize your solution. But if teams have a simulation software that can demonstrate the proof of concept better than the simulation environment we are providing, we would definitely encourage it, but the teams have to run it past us. They have to give us a demo of how their simulation environment is right at the beginning, so we can assess if this is sufficient for us to judge.
Great, sorry, Veena, there's a few more. I don't know if you have.
It's okay.
Stay on.
We have time.
coming in. One is, can we publish a scientific paper based on the results and describing the system if they go on to win an award and if the IP goes to Aspire?
Well, with regards to IP, Aspire will have non-exclusive rights to the IP. So this means we do get the rights to the IP. However, you will continue to keep the rights to the IP too. So you can go ahead and do with it whatever you want, and we will go ahead and commercialize it the way we want. So if you can release a scientific paper on it, I don't think why that should not be possible. I think yes.
Okay. Then next one is, can we get recordings of these webinars? Yes, they will be going on online. We've already done one. That is online already, and the future ones will also be available. The next one is the minimum dimension of the swarm is 5. Does this mean you need to have 5 UAVs working at the same time all the time?
Well, no, so that has not been stated anywhere. So the minimum number of UAVs the team should bring is 5. So if all of them are working at the same time, or if one is working at any given time, it's really up to you how you want to use them to accomplish the task.
Okay, another one on non-cooperation, but we've covered that. How many members per team?
Well, there is no limits on the number of members of the team. We just want to, well, send it to us in your white paper. So as of now, we have not put any limit. So yeah, get as many team members as you need to have a strong team to accomplish this this task.
Right. Next one is, will we be allowed to use picking mechanisms on the UAVs?
As of now, yes. As of now, yes, for the white paper.
Then next one is, how will the drones recognize the ship? Is there a particular, okay, so no, we've kind of covered that one with regards to the identification of the target vessel. Then we have another one on what is the shape or texture of the target object. You know, the grasping or picking of the robot arm and the UAV is highly dependent on that.
Well, just think of the objects that you would take out of a target vessel for inspecting. So it could be the small object could be like master's papers. It could be a paper file or a paper file put in a plastic bag or a cloth bag with a handle. Or the objects to be intervened could be like a metal box or a log of wood or a wooden box, or yeah, something of those sorts. So only one thing that I can say for sure is there is going to be some sort of a grasping mechanism provided on these objects for the UAVs to attach themselves and pick this object up.
I think we've had a couple of questions on that actually just come in around, is there going to be a kind of handle for the UAVs and the robotic arm to grasp and to attach to? So I think, yeah, you just answered that one. Right, I think that is everything. Apologies if I've missed your question. We've had around kind of 60 plus questions come in, so
fantastic.
Thank you very much for your interest, for your time. Over to you to close the session.
Great, perfect. Thank you very much. Really appreciate your excellent questions. And I really hope that we have answered it to the best of our abilities. Please do keep in mind that we are revealing only the information that is necessary for white paper at this point in time. We don't want to, well, a lot of information that is related to simulation phase and the final demonstration phase are being discussed. And as a result, we don't want to provide you information that is not yet complete. So apologies if we were not able to answer all the questions to your full satisfaction, but as and when information is available to you, as and when we have made decisions, we will put the information on our website. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for your participation. Have a great day.